Hi everyone. It's been a while, and I hope you've been keeping yourself out of trouble in these pretty choppy markets. So tonight I'm going to be talking about mindset. Understanding how mindset can impact our trading. And to do that, really, we need to understand what mindset is. What are we actually talking about there? And without going into any real psychological analysis, for me, mindset is it's our demeanor, it's our moods, which is almost a reflection of what's going on in our lives. And we recognize that that's good and bad, and that's what produces mood swings. And very very difficult to perform at high levels. Whatever you're doing, whilst lots of other things are going on. So we recognize that there's maybe some turbulence in our lives, and life's always not smooth. So how do we manage to navigate difficult trading markets while there's lots of other things going on in our mind? And for me, I want to focus down on what I would classify as our trading mindset. And we've got that roller coaster in the middle here of this slide, which basically proves, it's all tough out there. And the most important thing here is that markets change as well. Market sentiment changes, volatility changes, and we've got to be able to adapt to that, as well as having this turbulence going on in the background that's making our lives a little bit trickier. So how do we look at this trading mindset? How do we almost get our game face on to be able to cope with these financial markets? Well, let's take a quick look at what I believe a trading mindset is. We recognize we can't all of a sudden just switch on and switch off. And so, are there any tools that can help us control that mindset and put us in a good place while we're actually trading? For me, the trading mindset is its attitudes, its beliefs. I've put in their goals. One good trick that helps us control what we're doing and how we go about things, and the mindset that drives that, is to have some beliefs and goals. We have to be having an end game, whether that be financial, whether that be trading through a trading session, getting out of an individual position that's maybe been underwater and we want to get out even flat, which we could classify as a good trade. Maybe that's a goal for that trading session, and some other longer term financial goals. That will help our mindset because it brings focus to what we're doing. And with that, we can bring other tools that we learn. We learn trading strategies, and there's mental strategies that sit behind that, in conjunction with the actual order management in getting to in and out of our trades that will help. So what we're looking at here is this trading mindset actually allows us to focus because it brings tools in that will make us disciplined. It will make us patient, and we'll move to that in the next slide. And the key thing here is this process that we talk about so often, this idea generation. Then we often talk about planning our trade and then trading the plan. All those things are part of our process. All those things are the tools of our trade that help us keep our mindset positive and keep our eyes on the prize as such. And that in itself will allow this emotional control that we most desperately need to be able to be successful in this market. So we talk about discipline and emotion, and the key thing there is, these are stressful markets. We're making quick decisions, which can have large financial implications. All the while, there's lots of other things going on in our lives. So the most key thing is to try and regulate our emotions. We need to make sure that we stay on a relatively even keel. I put calmness under pressure. It's easier said than done. I know that. We need to manage those emotions. How do we do that to make sure that we're constantly making rational decisions and not impulsive decisions? Well, we have a trading process behind it. We keep the discipline because we believe in that trading process. We mentioned about beliefs. Well, we have a belief in the formula, as to when we put trades on, our idea generation, our entry levels, our exit levels, and we stick to that formula. And that's what helps us make rational decisions. And it takes away these emotions, particularly like fear and greed, and inevitably there'll be frustration in there because we feel in control because we know what we're doing. Now, inevitably, we will take some losses. We know that. So the key thing there is that part of controlling those emotions is that acceptance that we will take losses. And that's another tool that we have in our box. If we don't actually accept that we'll take losses, we're going to get caught up in that emotional turbulence again. And so we're not using one of those key tools. So very, very important that we stick to this process that we actually have. The discipline comes from the simple fact that we believe in that trading plan. We've developed it over time. We know where our entry and exit levels are because we've done our homework, we've got the trade idea, we then look at our charts to find out, where support and resistance are, whichever type of chart we use. And therefore we go in with a high degree of optimism that we're going to get this right and the market is going to come our way. And what basically this allows us to do is avoid being swayed by some of the short-term moves. When markets start going a little bit sideways, get a little bit jumpy, but really they're not going anywhere. We don't get caught up in that because we know where our goals are and we have a defined level of stop loss, which we know will take us out when the trade is wrong in our eyes, but it's taking us out at an affordable level because we've done all that. That's part of our process of finding a trade and putting that trade on. So we're able to control these emotions simply by understanding our own process. But in effect, that's not good enough. We need to take that a step further. So what we need to do is learn from our process. It's iterations. It's not major surgery on what we do. There may be times where we really think we can't trade at all. The best thing there is not major surgery. It's to step back a little bit. Maybe don't trade for a few days. Take a little bit of time out. Then go back to what your process is, review some of those trades that you've put on, find out whether you're starting getting some bad habits. And then we have to learn to say to ourselves, when I was making money, those bad habits weren't there. So I've got to eradicate those bad habits. Am I getting lazy? Am I getting ill-disciplined? And if I am, I need to go back to where I was in the first place. So we need to keep reiterating what we're doing. We need to continue to repeat the good stuff, try and get rid of the bad stuff. I know it's not easy, but we have to be very honest with ourselves. And we have to keep adapting our trading process. If the market's changing all the time, there'll be times where we have to make these small adjustments to be able to cope with the changes in the market. Now, one of the things we can use on the Plus500 website is to utilize the Plus Me tools. They're going to be great for helping us analyze some of the trades that we've done. We look at that history and it helps us predict the future in terms of the way we trade. So we're constantly looking at growth mindset, not a static mindset, because we're dealing in a changing environment. And what you'll find this does, and again, this will help you with that emotional side of things, is that you will build confidence and you will build resilience. The more history you have in your trading, the more you can trust your analysis and your decision-making process. This confidence will come in and you continue to execute those strategies because you believe in them. You know the parameters of your trade. You know the size of risk that you're comfortable with. All those things are individual and personal, but you get used to where those sweet spots are, and this will bring the confidence, and that will help you control your emotions. And what you then have is not just your game face, you have all the tools that sit behind it that give you the confidence to keep trading. And then your mindset will be nice and positive, and hopefully you'll see the rewards. I hope that helps, and I'll see you again soon.